Some celebrity homes are expensive, others are unforgettable. But the moment you step inside Vicki Belo's mansion, it's clear this is a home built on a completely different level. Behind its elegant facade are breathtaking interiors, resort-style amenities, and personal touches that reveal a life shaped by luxury, family, and impeccable taste. But this mansion didn't appear overnight. Midway through, we'll uncover the beauty empire that made it all possible. Let's take a look inside one of the Philippines' most extraordinary celebrity homes. Chapter 1. The Grand Arrival. In a city where luxury homes compete for attention, some properties stand out not because they are the loudest, but because they create a feeling before you even step inside. Vicki Belo's mansion is one of those rare homes. Hidden behind elegant gates in one of Metro Manila's most exclusive residential areas, the property immediately reflects the personality of its owner, refined, sophisticated, and carefully curated. It does not rely on unnecessary displays of wealth. Instead, it creates an impression of quiet confidence, the kind of luxury that comes from knowing exactly what you want. From the moment visitors approach the residence, the first thing they notice is the balance between grandeur and warmth. The architecture avoids feeling cold or overly formal. Clean lines, expansive spaces, and carefully planned landscaping combine to create a home that feels more like a private retreat than just another celebrity mansion. For someone who has spent decades under the public spotlight, privacy is one of the greatest luxuries, and the design of this home reflects that idea. The surrounding walls and gates create a peaceful separation from the busy world outside, allowing the mansion to become a personal sanctuary where family life can continue away from cameras and public attention. But the beauty of the property begins even before reaching the front door. The exterior design follows a modern luxury aesthetic where every element appears intentional. The carefully maintained greenery softens the structure, adding a natural atmosphere around the residence. Instead of making the home feel like an oversized monument, the landscaping creates a sense of calm and balance. This attention to harmony is a theme that continues throughout the entire property. Every view appears to have been considered. Every pathway, outdoor detail, and architectural choice contributes to a larger vision, a home where elegance and comfort exist together. And perhaps that is what makes Vicki Belo's mansion different from many celebrity houses. It does not feel like a place designed only to impress guests. It feels designed for the people who actually live there. The entrance itself becomes the first hint that there is much more waiting beyond the doors. The scale of the property suggests something impressive, but the design choices suggest something more personal. This isn't simply about having a large house. It is about creating an environment that represents a certain way of living. That idea becomes even clearer when you consider the kind of details that define the residence. Luxury is not only measured by size, expensive materials, or impressive rooms. It is also found in the atmosphere a home creates. And from the very first look, this mansion communicates a message of comfort, taste, and exclusivity. For years, glimpses of Vicki Belo's home through house tours and family videos have given viewers a rare look into her private world. But even those glimpses only reveal pieces of the bigger picture. Because beyond these gates is a residence filled with carefully designed spaces, personal touches, and luxurious areas that reveal how one of the Philippines' most recognizable personalities chooses to live. And now, it's time to step inside. Chapter 2. Inside Vicki Belo's mansion. The moment the doors open, the true scale of Vicki Belo's mansion begins to reveal itself. What first appeared from the outside as an elegant private residence transforms into a carefully designed world of comfort, sophistication, and personality. Every area inside the home carries a sense of intention. Nothing feels randomly placed, and nothing feels like it exists simply to show wealth. Instead, the interior tells a story about taste, family, and a lifestyle built around beauty and refinement. The first impression is the incredible sense of space. Large open areas, high ceilings, and carefully positioned furniture create an atmosphere that feels both luxurious and welcoming. Rather than dividing the home into closed-off sections, the design allows different areas to connect naturally, making the mansion feel spacious without losing its warmth. This balance is one of the most impressive aspects of the residence. Many luxury homes can feel more like museums than places where people actually live. But Vicki Belo's home takes a different approach. The elegant finishes and designer details are matched with comfortable spaces where family and guests can gather. The result is a mansion that feels polished but still personal. Beyond the size of the mansion, what makes the interior truly impressive is the way every detail feels intentional. The design does not rely only on expensive materials or dramatic decorations. Instead, the home creates a balance between elegance and comfort. Each space feels connected, with carefully chosen furniture, lighting, and decor working together to create a consistent atmosphere throughout the residence. It feels less like a showroom and more like a personal sanctuary designed around the people who live there. That combination of luxury and warmth is what gives Vicki Belo's mansion its unique character. It is a home that reflects sophistication, but still leaves room for family moments, celebrations, and everyday life. The living areas immediately reflect this philosophy. The spaces are designed for both relaxation and entertainment, with carefully chosen furniture, artistic pieces, and decorative elements that complement one another. Every corner appears thoughtfully arranged, creating a visual experience where luxury does not overpower comfort. One of the defining characteristics of the home is the use of light. Large windows and open layouts allow natural light to become part of the interior design. Throughout the day, sunlight changes the mood of the rooms, highlighting textures, colors, and architectural details. This connection between indoor and outdoor spaces gives the mansion a calm, almost resort-like feeling. That connection to nature is something that appears repeatedly throughout the home. Instead of separating the residence completely from its surroundings, the design allows greenery and outdoor views to become part of the experience. The result is an environment that feels peaceful despite being located in the middle of a busy metropolitan area. The dining and gathering spaces continue the same theme. These are not simply rooms created for special occasions. They represent the moments that make a house feel like a home. Family celebrations, conversations with close friends, and memories created away from the public eye. The design choices throughout these areas show a preference for timeless elegance. Rather than following temporary trends, the interiors focus on elements that remain sophisticated over time. This reflects a similar approach seen throughout Vicki Belo's public image: polished, confident, and carefully maintained. But perhaps the most interesting thing about the mansion is how personal it feels. Behind the luxury furniture and beautiful finishes are signs of everyday life. Family photographs, personal collections, and meaningful decorations bring warmth into spaces that could otherwise feel too perfect. These details transform the residence from an impressive property into a true family home. And that is what makes exploring this mansion so fascinating. The value of the house is not only found in its size or appearance, it is found in the way every space reflects the people living inside it. The mansion becomes a combination of luxury and identity, a place where success meets personal comfort. However, the beautiful interiors only tell part of the story. A home of this scale represents more than great design. It represents decades of ambition, business success, and careful building of a powerful personal brand. So what created the success behind this extraordinary lifestyle? To understand the answer, we need to look beyond the walls of the mansion and discover the beauty empire that changed the Philippine cosmetic industry forever. Chapter 3: The Beauty Empire Behind the Mansion. A mansion like Vicki Belo's does not happen by accident. Behind every carefully designed room, every luxurious detail, and every corner of this extraordinary home is a story of years of ambition, risk, and determination. Because before there was a mansion that captured the attention of millions, there was an idea: to transform the way people in the Philippines viewed beauty, confidence, and aesthetic medicine. That idea became the foundation of the Belo Empire. Long before her name became associated with celebrity beauty and luxury, Vicki Belo was a doctor with a vision. After completing her medical training and further studies in dermatology and aesthetic medicine, she entered a field that was still relatively unfamiliar to many Filipinos. At the time, cosmetic procedures were not discussed as openly as they are today. Many people were uncertain about aesthetic treatments, and the industry was still searching for greater acceptance. But Vicki Belo saw an opportunity. She believed beauty treatments were not only about changing appearances, they were about helping people feel more confident and comfortable with themselves. That belief would eventually become the foundation of one of the Philippines' most recognizable beauty brands. In 1990, Vicki Belo established her first clinic, beginning what would later become Belo Medical Group. What started as a single practice would grow into a major name in Philippine aesthetic medicine, attracting thousands of clients and becoming closely associated with quality, innovation, and trust. But building that reputation required more than simply opening clinics. It required changing perceptions. Vicki Belo became one of the figures who helped bring aesthetic medicine into mainstream conversation. Through media appearances, interviews, and public education, she made beauty procedures less mysterious and more understandable to ordinary Filipinos. She did not just market treatments. She built confidence. And that became one of the biggest reasons the Belo name became so powerful. Over time, the company developed a reputation for combining medical expertise with a luxury experience. The goal was not only to provide procedures, but to create an environment where clients felt comfortable, valued, and understood. This approach changed the expectations people had of beauty clinics. A clinic was no longer just a place for treatment. It became a destination. The same attention to experience that defined Belo Medical Group can also be seen in Vicki Belo's mansion. The connection between the two is not just about money, it is about philosophy. In the same way the clinics were designed to create a feeling of trust and exclusivity, the mansion was designed to create a feeling of comfort and elegance. Every detail matters. The carefully selected interiors, the balance between luxury and warmth, the focus on beauty without sacrificing personality. These ideas mirror the brand that Vicki Belo spent decades building. But success did not come from beauty alone. It also came from understanding people. The Belo brand became strongly connected with celebrities and public personalities, helping it gain even more recognition. As more well-known figures trusted the company, the name became associated with a certain standard of excellence. However, behind the public attention was a carefully built business foundation. The company continued expanding its services, adopting modern aesthetic technologies, and maintaining its position in a competitive industry. It became one of the most recognized aesthetic medicine brands in the Philippines. And this is where the mansion becomes more than just a beautiful property. Because when viewers look at the home, they are not simply looking at expensive furniture, impressive architecture, or luxury spaces. They are looking at the result of decades of work. The mansion represents the rewards of building something that lasted. Many people can achieve short moments of success, but creating a trusted name that survives for decades requires something different: consistency, innovation, and the ability to evolve. Those same qualities are reflected throughout the residence. The home feels carefully planned because the person behind it built her career the same way. With intention, with precision, with a clear understanding that details create lasting impressions. Today, the Belo name remains one of the strongest in Philippine aesthetic medicine. What began as one doctor's vision grew into an influential brand that changed an entire industry. And that journey explains why a mansion like this exists. It is not simply a reward for success. It is a symbol of what happens when expertise, ambition, and vision come together over many years. The walls of this home represent more than luxury. They represent a legacy. But now that we understand the empire behind the mansion, it is time to return inside and explore the private spaces that reveal how Vicki Belo and her family experienced this remarkable home away from the public eye. Chapter 4: The Private Side of Luxury. After discovering the empire behind the mansion, the home begins to look different. The elegant spaces are no longer just beautiful rooms filled with expensive details. They become a reflection of decades of hard work, success, and the desire to create a place where family life can continue away from the public spotlight. Because beyond the impressive entrances and carefully designed living areas, the true luxury of Vicki Belo's mansion is found in the private spaces. The areas where the cameras disappear and everyday moments happen. One of the most fascinating aspects of the home is how it balances glamour with comfort. For someone whose career revolves around beauty, wellness, and transformation, it makes sense that her personal residence would also reflect those values. The private areas of the mansion are designed around relaxation, self-care, and creating a peaceful environment after years of living a demanding public life. This focus on comfort is what separates the mansion from a simple display of wealth. The most impressive luxury is not always found in the largest rooms or the most expensive features, but in the spaces that make everyday life easier and more enjoyable. For Vicki Belo, a home like this becomes a place to recharge after years of managing a demanding career and a highly visible public presence. The private areas provide a contrast to the fast-paced world outside, offering moments of peace, privacy, and connection with family. Every corner reflects a lifestyle built around balance. It is a reminder that behind the glamorous image people see publicly is also someone who values quiet moments, personal comfort, and the simple experience of being at home. That is what gives the mansion its deeper meaning. It is not only a place created to impress visitors, it is a place created to be lived in. The bedrooms, for example, represent a completely different atmosphere from the grand entertaining spaces. Instead of focusing on impressing visitors, these rooms are designed around rest and personal comfort. Soft textures, carefully chosen furnishings, and a calm aesthetic create a retreat from the busy world outside. It is a reminder that the greatest luxury is not always something meant to be displayed. Sometimes, it is the ability to come home to a space that feels completely private. The same philosophy extends into the home's wellness areas. Considering Vicki Belo's decades of work in the beauty industry, wellness is naturally an important part of her lifestyle. The residence reflects that commitment through spaces dedicated to relaxation and maintaining balance. A home like this becomes more than a place to sleep. It becomes a personal sanctuary. Every detail appears designed around convenience and comfort, from the organization of private spaces to the way different areas connect throughout the house. The goal is not simply to create a beautiful property, but to create a home that supports the lifestyle of the people living inside it. Family is another important element that can be seen throughout the mansion. Despite the luxury surrounding them, the home still carries signs of ordinary family moments. Personal photographs, meaningful decorations, and spaces designed for spending time together give the residence a sense of warmth. This is what separates it from many celebrity mansions. A house can be large, expensive, and architecturally impressive, but without personal touches, it can still feel empty. Vicki Belo's home feels different because the design allows room for memories to exist alongside luxury. The private areas also reveal something about Vicki Belo herself. Throughout her career, she has built a reputation around precision, beauty, and attention to detail. Those same qualities appear in her home. Nothing feels accidental. From the choice of materials to the arrangement of spaces, the mansion reflects someone who understands the importance of presentation while still valuing comfort. And perhaps that is the biggest lesson hidden inside this extraordinary residence. True luxury is not only about owning impressive things, it is about creating an environment that represents who you are and how you want to live. For Vicki Belo, that meant building a home that combines elegance, privacy, family, and personal expression. But the mansion still has one more story to tell. Beyond the interiors and private rooms are the outdoor spaces and final details that complete this incredible residence, showing why this home has become one of the Philippines' most admired celebrity properties. Chapter 5. More than a mansion. After exploring the grand interiors and private spaces of Vicki Belo's residence, one thing becomes clear. This is not simply a house designed to impress. It is a home designed to represent a journey. Every part of the property reflects a different chapter of a life built around ambition, creativity, and an eye for perfection. From the moment visitors approach the entrance to the moment they experience the most private corners of the residence, the mansion tells a story about the person behind it. And that story continues outside. The outdoor areas complete the experience by extending the same feeling found throughout the interior. Instead of feeling separate from the home, the exterior spaces become another part of the living environment. Carefully planned landscaping, open areas, and relaxing corners create the feeling of a private retreat hidden away from the energy of the city. For many luxury homeowners, outdoor spaces are simply decorative, but in a residence like this, they serve a greater purpose. They create opportunities for quiet mornings, family moments, celebrations, and gatherings with close friends. The outdoors becomes an extension of the lifestyle the mansion was built to provide. That connection between indoor and outdoor living is one of the strongest design themes throughout the property. The home does not feel like a collection of expensive rooms placed together. Instead, it feels like one complete experience. Every space connects with the next, creating a flow that makes the mansion feel comfortable despite its impressive size. And perhaps that is why Vicki Belo's home has attracted so much attention over the years. People are naturally curious about celebrity lifestyles, but the most fascinating homes are not always the ones with the biggest price tags. They are the ones that reveal something about their owners. This mansion reveals a person who values beauty, precision, family, and personal comfort. Those same qualities have been present throughout Vicki Belo's career. The attention to detail seen in her clinics, her public image, and her professional work can also be seen in the way her home has been created. It represents the same philosophy. Excellence is found in the details. A carefully selected piece of furniture, a thoughtfully designed room, a space created for a specific feeling. These small decisions combine to create something much bigger than a luxury property. They create an identity, and that may be the greatest achievement of Vicki Belo's mansion. It does not only show what success can buy, it shows what success can become when it is transformed into a place filled with memories and meaning. From building one of the Philippines' most recognized beauty brands to creating a home admired by millions, Vicki Belo's journey is a reminder that extraordinary results often come from decades of dedication. Behind the gates is not just a beautiful mansion. It is the story of a woman who built an empire, created a legacy, and designed a home that reflects everything she has achieved. A home where luxury meets personality. A home where success feels personal. And a home that stands as one of the Philippines' most fascinating celebrity residences. From a dream home hidden behind elegant gates to the empire that made it possible, Vicki Belo's mansion is more than a symbol of luxury. It is a reflection of vision, success, and a lifetime of dedication. But there are many more incredible celebrity homes and untold stories waiting to be explored. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, subscribe to her status, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next exclusive look inside the world's most fascinating homes.